What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video, and today we've got Crusadia OTK test hands. So I have one disclaimer before going into this, and that's these hands are theoretical. They are not set in stone. This is not what you're gonna do at all times. Shit. Sorry, I had to grab a drink. This being an OTK strategy, you're going second. So going second, you don't know what your opponent's playing until they, start playing, obviously, and you don't know if you'll be able to play through it. But if you can play through it, most of the time you're going to build your OTK. And then next, I have one thing that I am wanting, or one thing that I kind of want to do, and I want you guys to try and guess what deck is going to be featured in the next deck profile. I am very smart. Based on the color of the card sleeves I am using. So I will show you the color of the card sleeves right now. And you guys go ahead and comment down below what you think the deck is going to be. Here's the color. They are Dragon Shield Crimsons. So you guys feel free to try and guess what that next deck profile is going to be. So, but without further ado, let's start testing. Woo! That was a close one. Almost knocked my tripod over the edge of the table. So I'm going to shuffle just kind of a little bit off camera. I know, could be stacking the deck. Let me tell you something. I don't know how to stack the deck. And it's not something I've ever really, done. So our first hand has Maximus, Return, Reclusia, Skippy, and Revival. Again, we are go second deck, so we draw into our crown. So here's the thing, we don't really need the crown because we have combo right here, and then we have one of our end pieces. So let's see what we can, do without the crown by going for Orchestrated Return, discarding the World Legacy World Crown, and drawing 2 cards. Parallel Exceed and Leonis. So we have another end board card. And we also have this card, which means we don't even need to normal summon our Reclusia. Hang on, you guys are like way off right now. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today. Oh god damn it. My why is it being this way? Why are you doing what you're doing now? Give me one moment, guys. I'm going to cut, and we'll be right back. Alright. Hopefully I have this fixed. So we're going to normal summon the Leonis. And we're going to link our Leonis off for our Magius. Generic Crusadia stuff. Because now we're going to activate our Parallel Exceed and summon it to a zone a link monster points to. And then Magius' effect will activate and will chain the Parallel Exceed. So we'll get the summon for Parallel. And if they Ash Blossom the Parallel effect, that's fine. We still get the search. We're going to obviously add Draco from our deck to our hand. And then we're going to summon the second copy of Parallel Exceed. And we will proceed to make an Xyz monster under the other link zone, being, for my case, Dweller, because I don't have the Gravedigger's Trap Hole. But if you have Gravedigger's Trap Hole, I highly recommend it. And then from here, we will summon our Draco and grab back our Leonis. We will then link summon yet again, or we will link 2 into our Regulix. Oh, he's off camera a little bit. And then we will special summon from our hand our copy of Reclusia. We will not use the effect of Reclusia right now because, you know what, now I'm thinking about it, I probably could have used the crown as an extender, but it's fine. And we will get the effect of Regulix to add from deck to hand a copy of Crusadia Power, which, if you guys didn't watch the deck profile, this is probably the best card in the deck. Simply for the fact that it is a quick play spell card, and I voiced my opinion on quick play spell cards in the deck profile for this deck. That's on the board. It needs to be moved. So we will get Crusadia Power to our hand, and then we will link 3 into our Equimax. So from here, we're going to activate, or not, we're going to special summon our Leonis we recurred. And then we're also going to special summon our Maximus from our hand. And from here, you can also activate the field spell. And this is typically going to be your end board. You'll use Leonis for piercing. You'll use Maximus for double battle damage. You'll use this so it can attack everything. And power, you can activate at any time to make any of your Crusadias immune to immune to being targeted or destroyed, or unaffected by card effects, except its own. So, let's say your opponent tries to blow this up, tries to blow up your Equimax in the battle phase. Just power. He loses the 500 gain from revival, but he keeps the 1200 and he keeps the 2800 gain from pointing to these two. But yeah, that's typically going to be your entire, that's going to be the whole deal with this deck. It's going to build that exact board, sometimes without the Dweller. So sometimes you'll just have the Equimax with the 2 here. And Equimax himself is a negate. So he's not the worst, boss monster to just kind of end on with at least 1 card. Or, well, at least 2 cards underneath him. 1 card underneath him, it's really risky because then he's a 200 attack point. Or 2,000 attack point. Link 3. And yeah, it gives your opponent an arrow, but I don't think they're going to be summoning anything to an arrow that he points to. Because I don't think they want to give your monster attack points. Hence why I like this deck as a blind second. Your opponent has no clue what you're playing. Unless, you tell them, and they're like, I gotta be careful where I summon. Can't summon under any of the link zones. Oh, excuse me, Jesus. Alright, let's do one more test hand. Another Orchestrated Return, Crusadia Powers, Skipper, Draco, another Skipper, and a Leonis. Not the worst in the world. The hand could definitely be better. But we can make a do. Because Skipper is pretty good. So we're going to normal summon our Skipper, and we're going to reveal our Regulex, I guess. It doesn't really matter. And we will link summon using Skipper from Magius. We will activate the effect of Skipper since it was used as the link material. And grab from our deck to our hand a Cyrus monster, the only Cyrus in our deck. A level 7 or higher Cyrus, I believe is what it says. But obviously we only have the one Cyrus in the deck, so we're going to add the Exceed. And then, I don't know how the ruling works, but I think it's like, but I know how it was like, after you search, the summon goes through, and then it is something weird where you can summon Exceed after, like, right after searching it. But I don't know if I'm gonna, you know what, yeah, you guys can let me know if I'm wrong, but I watched Revs before, and he did this exact same thing, where he would summon Magius with Skippy, and then after searching Exceed, would summon the Exceed to the zone that Magius points to. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to summon him here. We're going to Magius Exceed. Magius is going to search. Or, well, we're going to get the second copy of Exceed on the board. And we're going to search for Maximus. Because we can build up to our... If I play this right, and if I'm thinking right, we can build up to our board properly. So, we get our Maximus to our hand. Yep. We're going to Exceed summon yet again underneath the other link zone. And we will summon Dweller. And then we will summon Draco, Link. I am so wrong on doing that. It's whatever. It's fine. It's fine. So we won't be able to actually build I should have just used these for link material instead, but it's fine. Because now we're forced to summon our Leonis and then get the effect of Regulex. So in a situation like this, what you should do is summon the Exceed in the middle zone, or not your Exceed monster in the middle zone. Obviously, if it's going to be a, defense position monster like Abyss Dweller. But I didn't know that, so I summoned it over here because I misplayed. But we will get the effect of Regulex to search for Revival. So, yeah. That's completely on me. But the reason why we search Revival is because we already have Power, and Power is a hard once. So, now we're going to link summon yet again into our... I'm dropping cards. Into our Equimax, who should already be pointing to the Dweller. You want Equimax to always point to two things. The only issue with Equimax is he prevents what he points to from attacking, which actually, in some situations, is good. Because, I run Dark Ruler in the main deck. If you draw into Dark Ruler, you can Dark Ruler your opponent. Like, if your opponent's playing Dinos and they have their big old beefy boss monster under one of the link zones, here or here, you can summon Equimax, and then that monster will never be able to attack. And then we're also going to summon our Maximus. And this is obviously our weakest. This is probably the weakest board we can build. Granted, our sorry, that was the chair creaking. If my phone even picked it up. But if or Equimax is pointing to two monsters that give him more attack point gain, and then there's this, but you don't gain the addition of being able to do piercing and then also double damage, so you don't get doubled piercing. But you can also shut off your opponent's graveyard effects on your turn for this, just in case, like, in some weird world where you play this this against somebody playing Fire and Ice hand because, I don't know, interesting tech of the decade. Or interesting tech of the format, Fire and Ice hand again. Whatever. You can turn off their Fire and Ice hand because I believe they activate in the graveyard. I don't know, but either way, you can turn off graveyard effects on your turn, and then you have another material for your opponent's turn to keep them from activating graveyard effects. You have a single negate that won't, or that will actually, it will lower his attack value down to, from what, this is 50, down from 53 to, 37. But with this, he's 42. So he's still pretty big. He'll always be bigger than UCT in a board state like this. The only issue is UCT can get rid of this. This is why for some Crusadia builds, for going first, I highly recommend the Crusadia continuous trap, because it forces your opponent to attack your link monsters. So if you have Equimax on the board, they don't have a way around him, and that includes their UCT. If their UCT cannot get over this, they kind of have to pass because he's too big. Then you also have power for, like, in response to Pancratops, make him unaffected. Granted, Pancratops could destroy your Dweller, but either way, it's like, the boards aren't terrible, the deck isn't bad, it's very consistent. I tried to make this deck as consistent as possible. You'll occasionally see, like, Orchestrated Return without seeing any of your World Legacy cards in your hand, which obviously you only run 6, but I run three copies of Orchestrated Return. So it's 2-to-1 on the ratios for the World Legacy cards. But either way, that is going to be it for the video. I'm not really going to do a go first test hand, simply because I don't have the continuous trap, which you can search off of Regulix. So sometimes it's better to, like I said, in a going first situation, it's better to have that continuous trap. Maybe it just does a one-of to search and then set, and then on your opponent's, like, standby phase, you flip it up, and your opponent is locked into attacking your link monster. So there you go. Either way, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, please be sure to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We are still on the road to the big 100 for subscribers. And last but certainly not least, again, try and guess what deck is going to be the next deck profile based on the color of my sleeves, being Crimson Dragon Shields. And you know what? I'll give you guys one more card that'll help you guess. If any of you are in my friend circle, like in person, you'll already know, like, what it is based on this card. But those of you that just kind of pop in and watch my videos, here's a card for you to guess what the next deck profile is going to be. you have crimson red sleeves, and reasoning. So feel free to guess, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.